Good evening, everyone, and I hope everyone's having a Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, obviously. We just got back from visiting with my extended family. We always have a nice time with the kids and all of the grandparents and things like that. So every year I see in my Facebook memories, my post, a poem that was put up a little over 10 years ago. I'm not sure what the origin is, but I do know it was by Michael Marks. And I first saw it when I was in Iraq, deployed there while my family was still back in the U.S. And I was just figured I'd read it for you guys. It's something that I've always found to be a really nice poem, and it's called A Soldier's Christmas. So, the embers glowed softly in their dim light. I gazed round the room, and I cherished the sight. My wife was asleep, her head on my chest, my daughter beside me, angelic in rest. Outside the snow fell, a blanket of white, transforming the yard into a winter delight. The sparkling lights in the tree, I believe, completed the magic that was Christmas Eve. My eyelids were heavy, my breathing was deep, secure and surrounded by love I would sleep. In perfect contentment, or so it would seem. So I slumbered, perhaps I started a dream. The sound wasn't loud, and it wasn't too near, but I opened my eyes when it tickled my ear. Perhaps just a cough, I didn't quite know. Then the sure sounds of footsteps outside in the snow. My soul gave a tremble I struggled to hear, and I crept to the door just to see who was near. Standing out in the cold and the dark of the night, a lone figure stood, his face weary and tight. A soldier, I puzzled, some 20 years old, perhaps a Marine, huddled here in the cold. Alone in the dark, he looked up and smiled, standing watch over me and my wife and my child. "What are you doing?" I asked without fear. "Come in this moment. It's freezing out here. Put down your pack, brush the snow from your sleeve. You should be at home on the cold Christmas Eve." For barely a moment I saw his eyes shift, away from the cold and the snow blown in the drifts, to the window that danced with the warm fire's light. Then he sighed and said, "It's really all right. I'm out here by choice. I'm here every night. It's my duty to stand at the front of the line that separates you from the darkest of times. No one had to ask or beg or implore me. I'm proud to stand here like my fathers before me. My Gramps died at Pearl on a day in December." Then he sighed, "That's a Christmas Gram always remembers. My dad stood his watch in the jungles of Nam, and now it's my turn, and so here I am. I've not seen my own son in more than a while, but my wife sends me pictures. He's sure got her smile." Then he bent and he carefully pulled from his bag the red, white, and blue, an American flag. "I can live through the cold and being alone, away from my family, my house, and my home. I can stand at my post through the rain and the sleet. I can sleep in a foxhole with little to eat. I can carry the weight of killing another, or lay down my life with my sister and brother, who stand at the front against any and all to ensure for all time that this flag will not fall. So go back inside and harbor no fright. Your family is waiting, and I'll be all right." "But isn't there something I can do at least? Give you money," I asked, "or prepare you a feast? It seems all too little for all that you've done, for being away from your wife and your son." Then his eyes welled with a tear that held no regret. "Just tell us you love us and never forget. To fight for our rights back at home while we're gone, to stand your own watch no matter how long. For when we come home, either standing or dead, to know you remember we fought and we bled. Is payment enough? And with that we will trust that we mattered to you as much as you mattered to us." So I just wanted to share that with you. It's a great little poem about soldiers, and just remember there are soldiers out there, American soldiers for sure, that are deployed right now overseas, but obviously there are Ukrainian soldiers in foxholes right now absolutely fighting for their freedom. And on this Christmas Eve, they're alone or with their brothers and sisters in arms in foxholes, ensuring that they keep their way of life, that they keep the beacon of freedom and democracy against an autocratic dictator and a murderer. So just remember them, and I hope all of you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a Happy Holidays. And thank you for following me this past year.